Hi everyone, this video is taking on board ship for a while transiting the Mississippi River. It was a nice view out there which reflected the ray of a sunshine on sunny days. The Mississippi River, one of the longest rivers in North America, has a rich history that spans thousands of years. For the early history and the indigenous peoples, wherein the Mississippi River has been a vital part of the landscape for over 10,000 years. Indigenous peoples, such as the Hopewell and Mississippian cultures, thrived along its banks. They relied on the river for transportation, trade, and sustenance. The Mississippian culture, which flourished around 800 to 1600 CE, built large ceremonial mounds and established complex societies along the river. The European exploration in 1541, Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto was one of the first Europeans to cross the Mississippi River. However, the river became more widely known to Europeans after French explorer Jacques Marquette and fur trader Louis Joliet navigated it in 1673. In the years that followed, French settlers established New France and began to use the river as a vital route for trade and exploration. The French and Spanish control from the late 1600s to the early 1800s, the Mississippi River was a focal point of colonial competition. The French controlled the river and its surrounding territory as part of their larger colony of Louisiana, which they ceded to Spain in 1763 after the 7 Years' War. The Spanish maintained control until the early 19th century, when the territory was transferred back to France before the Louisiana Purchase of 1803. The Louisiana Purchase and U.S. expansion. In 1803, the United States, under President Thomas Jefferson, purchased the Louisiana Territory from France, which included much of the Mississippi River's western basin. This acquisition significantly expanded U.S. territory and opened up vast new lands for settlement. The river became an essential route for transporting goods, particularly agricultural products, between the interior of the country and international markets via the Gulf of Mexico. The river in the Civil War, which during the American Civil War 1861 to 1865 controlled the Mississippi River, was crucial for both the Union and the Confederacy. The river served as a critical transportation route, and the Union saw its control of the river as a way to divide the Confederacy. The Union's victory at the Battle of Vicksburg in 1863 gave them control over the entire river, effectively splitting the Confederacy in two. Industrialization in the 20th century. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the Mississippi River became heavily industrialized. Steamboats, railroads, and later, motorized barges turned the river into a major artery for the transportation of goods such as cotton, coal, and grain. Cities like St. Louis, New Orleans, and Minneapolis grew along the river, becoming economic powerhouses. Modern environmental concerns. The Mississippi River remains vital for commerce, but it has also faced environmental challenges. Pollution, invasive species, and the destruction of wetlands have all affected the river's ecosystem. Efforts to restore and protect the river, such as the Mississippi River Restoration Program, have been ongoing to mitigate damage and improve the river's health. Today, the Mississippi River continues to be a symbol of the American experience, from its cultural significance to its economic importance. It remains an essential part of the country's transportation infrastructure and an iconic natural feature.